Yeah, well, I think our journey is very different than what I think a lot of new entrepreneurs would be, starting with now.
Welcome to the Natural Products Marketer Podcast. I'm Tina.
And I'm Amanda, and we're here to make marketing easier for natural products businesses so you can reach more people and change more lives.
Hi there, and welcome to the Natural Products Marketer Podcast. Today, we have a special guest joining us from Just Thrive Health, Tina Anderson. Tina, we're so excited to have you here with us. You founded Just Thrive Health. You have an amazing story, and I cannot wait to jump into your story and let everybody know about your amazing products.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. So would you like me to jump in and kind of tell my story?
Well, I read your story on the website and it's very cool, but I think it would be interesting for you to start there for the audience to hear what got you into this industry.
Yeah. So my husband and I back in the day, I'm an attorney. So I still am an attorney, but I was in litigation for many years and just trying to have more of a work-life balance. I started having children and decided to go into a family pharmaceutical business where, I thought it was great because I'm like, I'm delivering life-saving medications to people, making the world a healthier, quote unquote, place. And my husband and I were in the industry for a while and just started to see a lot of the abuses in the industry. We started seeing the overprescribing of medications. We started seeing even our own relatives, who would be on like one of his aunts was on one medication and that medication started causing joint issues. And then that medication to treat the joint issues started causing stomach issues. And then that medication started causing skin rashes. And then she was on another medication. It was like before you knew it, she was like on a half a dozen medications and never getting any better. And we read a lot of Wayne Dyer. He's, a huge fan. We're huge fans of his. He's passed away since, but his message was always like, do your life's work. And we just didn't feel like we were doing our life's work. And so we really started delving into the natural health world. It was the way we were already living our lives with our 3 children. And so we decided to start researching, and we learned about the gut. We learned so much about the gut, and we learned about some of the issues with probiotics on the market. And so my husband's naturopathic physician called him into his office one day and said, you won't believe this, but we have the opportunity to purchase these exclusive probiotic strains out of London University. This is a probiotic strain that has never been brought to the retail market. And we were really excited about it. And so we decided to take our life savings and put it into the business and give it a try. And that's how Just Thrive was born. And it was the most stressful time of my life, but yet the most gratifying.
Yeah, I'd love to hear a little bit about you guys getting started. What was that like? You said it's stressful, but launching a new product in natural products market, like a lot of people think that's super easy. And it's not. So I'd love to hear a little bit about that journey and the struggle you went through and how did you get established?
Yeah, well, I think our journey is very different than what I think a lot of new entrepreneurs would be, starting with now. We launched 10 years ago. And so almost 11 years ago. And at the time we didn't do the direct to consumer online where I think a lot of people start. We did have a website that was supposedly an e-commerce website, but it wasn't Shopify. It was like, I don't even know what it was, but it was not very functional. Where we started was going into health food stores and just explaining our product, literally cold calling. I mean, I'd be on the phone. We were calling stores, and then I remember getting our first store, and the owner was like, this is great. Like, this makes so much sense. Now I understand why, a lot of these probiotics aren't working. And now I understand why it makes sense. And we had science behind the product. And so, that was literally the way we started, was going to health food stores, and we kind of started a nice little business. Then we started to get our e-commerce platform a little bit better. And then we started, then we got onto Amazon and we went that route. So, but really we started in the health food stores, and that proved to be really great because, there wasn't a high customer acquisition necessarily. Once you got in, they really believed in the product and they were selling the product for you. And because the product worked so well, it was just easy to grow in that channel.
Yeah, I actually remember when I was working at the health food store at the time, the first time I saw Just Thrive hit the shelves, and I was like, this is, at the time, there was nothing else like it. And even still, I would say that there still is nothing like it, which is really, really inspiring. I would love to know more of like, what brought you from starting with the probiotics that were so revolutionary to then like now you have more of a full product line. So kind of what stirred up the drive to add more products? What makes those different and unique, and kind of what do you guys have to offer now on top of the probiotics?
Yeah, we stayed with the probiotic for many years. I mean, it was years before we launched. We launched a vitamin K27 product that was also revolutionary and different because it was the only natural form of K27 that's out there. And it still really is the only natural form. But our big mantra was that we were only going to launch products that were missing and needed in the market. And we really don't want to be a Me Too company. I'm a huge believer in, for example, vitamin C, but I'm not going to launch another vitamin C because there's lots of companies doing a great job with that already. So we really did something that was very different. Like our prebiotic, we didn't launch a prebiotic for many years because we felt that a lot of prebiotics on the market actually could make a problem worse when you have gut issues. They actually will feed the beneficial bacteria, but also feed the pathogenic bacteria. We found these particular oligosaccharides that only target the beneficial bacteria. So the way we come to market with something that is it's unique and it's missing in the market and it has research behind it. Our IgG was the same. Nobody had brought a bovine derived IgG product to the market at the time. We were definitely the first out there. And then same like our Just Calm product, which is a psychobiotic. We were the first to bring a psychobiotic to the market. So we really are very thoughtful about what we bring to market because we're never going to be a 200 SKU supplement company. And, we don't want to be. We just want to bring products that are truly high quality, that have real research behind it, not borrowed research, but real research behind it, and that are really missing and could impact society.
I love hearing that. We love that you guys are being innovative and looking for what's missing rather than stacking a whole bunch of products together. I think that's a unique way of doing things. It's not what we see often happening with product manufacturers. And what else we think is unique about you guys is when we look at your website, you've got a ton of great marketing pieces on there, including the health quiz as a good example. People love quizzes, and I'm betting that has really grown your reach and your helping you start great relationships with your customers. And I took it just so I could see what it was like. And I am a runaway cortisol.
Me too. Yeah. Not anymore, but I used to be.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what got you guys into doing the quiz, whether or not it's been successful for you, and maybe using use cases like that to help promote your product.
Yeah, I think the big thing with the quiz is we are really trying to empower our customers. I mean, we know from a marketing perspective that quizzes are really great for customer acquisition. So that's great because you need to acquire your customer. But we also feel like we're very, very passionate about empowering people. I mean, like I said, we came from the pharmaceutical industry. We are brought up in this world where you go to the doctor, they tell you what to do. You're sick, you take a pharmaceutical, and there's no explanation. There's no why. There's no understanding the root cause of an issue. And so that's something that was really passionate to my husband, who's the co-founder of the business, and we really wanted to have people be empowered and to take charge of their health. So I think the quiz was one tool. You can't spend hours with a customer, unfortunately. Online, you're not going to have, their attention for that long. But I think the quiz lets them know, like, okay, we could really dig into what your issue is, and we could figure out what will work the best for you. So yeah, it has been a really great tool for us.
So I'm curious, you had said that you were a lawyer, still are a lawyer. How has that helped you guys? Since this industry, there's so much, I think, gray about what you can say, what you can't say. We're actually going to spend a lot of time in our second season of the podcast focusing on regulatory issues. So I would love to just pick your brain on what that looks like for you and how your experience with law has helped you guys with a lot of these label claim type issues, and how you're able to utilize, using, health benefits in your marketing as well.
Yeah. So it's funny. I was in litigation, so I really had no training in the compliance aspect of things. But what I do know, there's a couple of things that have helped me being an entrepreneur in this space, of being a lawyer, is that, I know how to research. Big researchers, whatever case I was dealing with, I always had to know how to research. And so I've really honed in on that skill. The other thing is, I know that there's so many specialties in law and that you need to go defer to the specialist. So we have a compliance attorney, an FDA compliance attorney on retainer that we pay every month to review whatever issues that we need, labels and claims and all of that. So that's super important to us. It's expensive, but it's really important to us that we do it right.
So kind of a cost of doing business is making sure that you have that all zipped up and the I's dotted and the T's crossed.
Yeah, you really have to in this space. I mean, you just have to sleep well at night. That's the thing. There's plenty of companies out there making outrageous claims. We know that, and they're still selling, even though they've been slapped over and over again. But it's just not the way that we want to do business. I'm conservative in that respect.
Well, so we saw that there's some testimonials on your site and even like big industry names as well. Is that a way that you guys can talk about some of those health benefits without crossing any of those legal lines?
Well, no, you still need to have your influencers speak in a compliant language. So that's part of what we do when we bring on like an influencer or, somebody wants to talk about our product. We need to give them the compliant language. They still need to be compliant also. So, I think that's what a lot of people kind of get, they don't, obviously a brand's going to get in more trouble if they're doing it, but you also need to have your people who are promoting your product be compliant as well.
Yeah, that's super helpful to know because, I think that's probably one of our biggest questions is how do you use customer testimonials since it's technically not you saying it to someone else said it. So that's
before
really
before we allow a testimonial to be published, we have a process in our office or in our company where it needs to be reviewed to make sure it's compliant. Because you should imagine, the customers will be like, this cured me of IBS, this cured me of Crohn's, and I'm like, oh my God, we can't put that on the website. We didn't know that right away. We thought, oh, well, it's not our voice, exactly what you're saying. But if you're putting it on your website, you need to edit it. So there's a whole process to make sure that the testimonials are in fact compliant. That's a great question because I think a lot of I know we didn't know that in the beginning.
Yeah, that's great information for our community and we're always trying to talk about different ways that you can promote your product without getting in compliance hot water. So the testimonials is an interesting one. We also noticed. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, no, I said we even have double-blind human clinical trials on our formulation, and we have to be very careful to not say ours is on leaky gut, and we could talk about like structure function claims, but we can't talk about any diseases that are associated with the gut permeability. So it's frustrating because we've done all the work and we have all the science, but we have to follow the rules.
Yeah. Well, another thing that we were noticing on the website that you guys do is this free shipping, 100% guarantee, 0 hassle returns, and that you have this 4.9 star rating at the top of your page. And we love seeing that social proof and that you've got that you're going to back your product and have that 100% guarantee and zero hassle returns, that's helpful for everyone in the market.
Yeah, no, we thought about that long and hard, because a lot of times people will say, oh, we'll do a 30-day money back guarantee or a 60-day money back guarantee. And we had a friend of mine from a mastermind that I'm involved in had said to me, she's like, I studied this. We've done research on it. And when you say a lifetime, unlimited return, not unlimited product, but unlimited time, lifetime return, bottom of the bottle guarantee, it improves your customer acquisition. And especially when you have a product that works, I would never recommend somebody does that for a product that you don't maybe see a difference, or that really isn't maybe a super strong product. But nobody would want to bring a product to market that they didn't believe in. At least I would hope that they didn't. But, with the fact that our product works so effectively for people has been, we've never even thought about changing it, because there haven't been abuses of it. We have limits on the amount. You can't buy 6 bottles and then return them all after you've used them. There are limits on it. But for the most part, it hasn't been abused. It's been a great tool for acquisition.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I wouldn't have thought about that just from a sheer customer acquisition standpoint, that guarantee would be so powerful. So that's awesome. Another thing that we noticed was how important philanthropy is to you guys, and that you have this partnership with Vitamin Angels. I think they're a really awesome organization, but for those that aren't familiar with them, could you kind of just fill us in on what Vitamin Angels is and why that's an important partnership for you guys?
Yeah. So that was really important to us when we launched, that we wanted to do something that we gave back to some organization that was really making a difference, especially with like natural health and wellness. And so Vitamin Angels goes to countries where women and children are undernourished and provides them with vitamins. And it's amazing the impact it's having, because we know how important these nutrients are to health. We know that here, but in underdeveloped countries where they don't have, access to these these vitamins, that's what Vitamin Angels does, is they go into these countries that have an underdeveloped population and provides these life-changing vitamins and supplements. So we've been a part of Vitamin Angels for, my gosh, I think shortly after launch, because that was really, really important to us to start giving back right away, even when, there really weren't any profits in the beginning. So.
Yeah, that's so interesting that you talk about like the profitability and thinking through, can I give at a certain point, even when you're not bringing money into the business, that's enough to cover all the expenses. So how did you guys decide, like, hey, we're just going to do this from sacrifice versus waiting until you had money to really give away?
If there wasn't really much of a decision, because the decision was made from the beginning. When my husband and I started this company, that's part of, we wanted to like have a company that gave back. We wanted a company that had a really great culture that was super important to us. And it was like fun. We wanted to like really have fun with it and make a difference. So it was just, there really wasn't a big decision. It was like, we just wanted to do this from the beginning. And it was just kind of part of our like cost, basically.
I love that. Yeah, definitely not the norm. So that's really cool. So another question that we have for you, Tina, is, you obviously started in the gut health space, and that's still kind of like your main category. It's not as researched as far as, other nutrients like vitamin D and magnesium and things like that. So what have you found to be trending in the gut health space? And then what do you think we could see next in this space as far as new products and innovations?
Yeah, I think the big thing is in the gut health space, people have always associated, digestive issues with gut health. So gas and bloating, diarrhea, constipation, and, acid reflux, all those types of things. People are like, oh, I've got some gut issues going on. But I think the big trend is now seeing that the gut is responsible for all aspects of our health, and especially the gut-brain connection. I think there's a lot of talk out there about the gut-brain connection. All of our important neurotransmitters like serotonin, GABA, dopamine are all produced in our gut, where we were always focusing on the brain. So I think I think that's a big trend. You're seeing people talking about brain health when they're talking about gut health. And really, I think people are now starting to understand that it's our gut that is foundational for our health. I mean, we're not going to be absorbing nutrients if our gut is not if our gut is inflamed. It's our gut's job to assimilate those nutrients. So I think that the trend now is that people are understanding it, because for so long it's like, oh, I don't need a probiotic. I don't need a probiotic. My gut is fine. I go to the bathroom regularly. And I think now people are really starting to understand, like, even if you do feel like you don't have any gut issues, you need to be taking a high quality probiotic, because you need to be making sure that you are, your immune system is in your gut. All of your neurotransmitters are in your gut. Your hormones are being detoxed and absorbed in your gut. So we need to be focusing on our gut health when you're talking about any aspect of our overall health.
Yeah, I've been noticing the trend of, as I'm getting older myself, that the doctors are talking to me about hormone changes, and they're like, okay, you have to have a good probiotic. Even the medical community is starting to steer people in that direction, which is really exciting for me.
Yes, it is so nice to see that. And you're hearing so little of it out there, but I'm glad that people now are finally starting to talk about it. Especially every hormone expert you hear about is like, you need to take care of your gut. I mean, it's like undisputed in the hormone space. We need to be taking care of our gut.
So what advice would you give, particularly to retailers, about how to kind of take hold of that trend and implement that in their business to give them some marketing wins?
Oh, I think anybody that walks in the store should be leaving with a focus on gut health. I mean, like I said, you could be taking all these other supplements, but if you have a leaky gut, we know that you're not going to be absorbing the nutrients, and toxins are going to be seeping into your bloodstream. So you need to first and foremost be taking care of the gut. And I just think, you feel like, oh, you don't want to upsell somebody, but it's like, that's where somebody needs to start, is their gut. I'm always so careful about not trying to like sell all these different products to people. Even when I'm on podcasts, I'll say, start with the probiotic. Like, foundationally, we have lots of other products that are very well researched and really thought out, but start with the probiotic, because I think once they start to have that trust in you, and I mean, if a retailer were to, hand out any old probiotic, then someone's not going to come back for it because it doesn't work. What we've noticed with Just Thrive is that they start on Just Thrive and they see the difference. So they come to trust our brand so much. I mean, we have such amazing customers and just raving fans of our product because it works so well. I mean, the comment always is like life-changing. It has been life-changing, because then when you start taking some other supplement that somebody has recommended, it's absorbing that much better, or all the nutrients, the healthy foods you're eating are being absorbed that much better. So I guess I would recommend that just retailers have every person that walks in should be starting with their gut health, because that's whatever thing they're walking in for. Maybe you're taking they just want to stay healthy. They're taking a multivitamin. Well, I don't know why everybody's so easily persuaded to take a multivitamin, but then they won't take a probiotic, because like I said, your gut is really dictating 80% of your immune system's found in your gut lining. We need to be focusing on our gut when we're talking about all of our health. I get a little passionate about that. Sorry.
No, that's great. We love the passion. And talking about like helping these retailers, I think it's great. Like, start with the gut. And I know that you guys started in, natural product stores. So I'm curious, are there other things that natural product stores can do with your brand that can help create some more profitability for them, longer customer relationships? Like, what did you find worked really well in those stores from the beginning?
The biggest thing I would say is education. We are so big on education. We have trainings. We would always, I know in the beginning, we would say you could get this discounted product or this discount off of your order if you will agree to trainings, because it was really important for us to do trainings. Most stores are really into trainings anyway, but that has really been a huge, huge factor is we do expert voice. I know a lot of retailers use that platform. But then we also do like in-person trainings at the smaller level, mid-size level. So that's really been our focus on education has really been hugely helpful, and just empowering them too to empower their customers.
So I'm assuming it's the stores that say yes to the trainings that do better with you guys, and they're probably thriving in their business as well.
Yes, absolutely. And then also we are on a lot of podcasts. I mean, on all different genres. And I think that has really helped our stores have a lot of success because we are doing so much marketing out there. The podcasts are so beneficial because we're able to tell the story. We're able to explain the science and why this is so different and why ours survive and most are not. And so that has really been a huge help to the stores because they're seeing people now walk into the stores hearing about, hearing about Just Thrive. So that's also the trainings, and then just the other marketing that we're doing nationally has been super helpful.
Yeah. Well, look, this has been an amazing interview, Tina. I know it's going to be so helpful for the retailers and the other manufacturers that we support in the market. And they're going to be excited to hear your story and all this good marketing advice as well. We usually end our podcast with a few standard questions. And we try to call them rapid fire, but it never works out that way.
I'll try to be brief.
Okay. Amanda, do you have those pulled up?
I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So what do you like to listen to, read? Who are you following to kind of keep up with what's next in the natural products industry?
Gosh, I feel like that all the podcasts I listen to are like ones that I'm going to be on. So I listen to so many different ones. I listen to some of the big ones like Peter Attia and Andrew Huberman. And then as far as the industry, I feel like I get a lot of that just from, talking to our customers. Really, that's where I'm learning mostly from our customers that are online as well as our customers that are our store customers.
I love that you're finding out industry information from customers. That is the place that we always tell people to start, is talk to the people that you're serving because they will give you more information than anyone else.
Yeah, it's amazing how much you get from the stores as well as your actual customers. And we are so committed to customer service. And we have health coaches on our team, product coaches, and these women are amazing. I mean, they're the customer satisfaction rate is so great because they're a part of our weekly calls. I don't look at like a lot of companies will be like, oh, our CS team is off on this island. And no, they're the ones that are talking to the customers. They are on every call with us to try. So we want to hear what they have to say. So I would encourage, companies to really listen to their CS team.
So what do you think is the biggest challenge that our industry is going to face over the next 3 to 5 years? Is there anything that's keeping you up at night?
Yeah, I think, the counterfeiters is really, that keeps me up at night. We've had several counterfeiters put our product on Amazon and they were not our product. So that's a huge problem. Amazon will handle it, but it takes a long time. There's a process involved that people are getting the product. So I also, of course, the increased competition with people who are, jumping on the bandwagon. My husband had just he saw an online course of how to start a supplement brand in, 10 days or something like that. It was there's a lot of junky products out there. And I think a lot of products that are being funded by investment groups that there's no passion behind it. We are bootstrapped. We have, never taken a penny of investor money. Not that there's anything wrong with companies that do that. That's a way that people could bring good quality products to market. But we have, we answer to ourselves at night, and we don't have to. And I think there's so many companies out there that are getting a ton of money and just marketing the, what out of the products and putting fancy, I always say like lipstick on a pig, really. They're taking like a crappy product and putting some research behind it, but it's not real research or it's borrowed science. And that's what keeps me up at night, is seeing kind of like the industry standards go down. When we came into this market, we wanted to elevate the standards because we believe so much in supplements that we started doing double-blind human clinical trials. We elevated the standard, and we're not, and I hate seeing that like some companies are bringing it down. There's lots of still really good companies doing the right thing, but unfortunately there's always bad players.
Yeah, it's so true. I've had so many encounters with just friends and family. And it's so funny. Like my husband and I, we've been in the industry for a decade now. And it's like, why don't you ask us like whether or not this is a credible brand? Like, and they just buy like random crap on Amazon. I'm like, this is literal garbage. Like you just wasted $13 on this. And it's like, just ask, like, or go to your health food store, please.
I know. It's like, I have the same problem with family members.
So what do you think would be some low hanging fruit? And I think we already kind of addressed this, starting with the gut, but just some low hanging fruit, quick wins that natural products marketers or retailers rather could grab a hold of and start implementing in their business today.
Some quick wins for them. Again, what has worked for us has been education. So I think doing like seminars I think people are hungry for knowledge about health and wellness, and, maybe doing like seminars or, some type of educational email, something like that could just educate them. Because the more education that you provide your customers, the more they're going to trust you and come back to you, and the healthier they're going to be. And I think that would be huge. Even maybe if they did email newsletters, which I know many of them already do that, but those kinds of things I think would be helpful.
And then lastly, Tina, if anyone's listening that wants to get in touch with you or learn more about your company, how can they do that?
The easiest thing would be just going to justthrivehealth.com. So, obviously you guys have seen the website. We put a lot into the research on our blogs, but you could always reach out to our CS team. Like I said, they're amazing. You could call them or email them, but going to justthrivehealth.com would probably be the best spot for people to go.
Perfect. Well, I hope that everyone does go visit your website. It's got a lot of marketing tactics that we support and think that other people should be deploying on their websites. If you've got a good product or you have a fabulous store, take a look at this website and get some great ideas to put on your own website. It's there and it sounds great. Like you guys are very supportive of the local retailers, and I know that they'll be excited to get in touch with your team so that they can research your brand and find out even more about gut health.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it, and just love to share our story.
Thanks so much for listening to the Natural Products Marketer podcast. We hope you found this episode to be super helpful. Make sure you check out the show notes for any of those valuable resources that we mentioned on today's episode.
And before you go, we would love for you to give us a review, follow, like, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're listening today. And make sure you join us for our next episode where we give you more marketing tips so that you can reach more people and change more lives.